heat, and it has different intensities of speed, but essentially much the same. The gridding on the outside is different with one versus the other, but for the most part, they're exactly the same size. There's the grid on the outside, the diamond grid. Oh, now we're seeing some new eyeballs popping up. Super happy to see all of you here. For those of you that missed it, we are launching a new product, not today, not this week, but it'll be coming out soon. But it's the Agility Plus ball, okay? So if you're interested in winning this tonight, you won't be sent one like within the week, but when these are launched, you'll get one in the mail if you're one of 2 winners tonight. I need to know when I say recovery, I want you to tell me where in your body you are looking for recovery, whether it be your arms, your neck, your shoulders, your back, your thighs, your booty, your calves. If you're suffering of plantar fasciitis, if you are suffering from biceps tendonitis, from low back pain, from sciatica, let me know one of those areas in which you're really wanting to learn tonight when I say recovery, or if you hear me say recovery, so that I can make sure that you're getting the information tonight that you came for. This is going to be kind of a flow through class, start to finish. But if you're interested in knowing when that ball is released, I want you to text message agility to 833-775-0130. Okay. Now that I know you're all here, because I know we're having some technical difficulties. There we go. Say that like 10 times in a row, right? Okay. Now, if you don't have a Life Pro foam roller, but you have a regular foam roller at home, whether it be one of these sensory foam rollers, whether it be a commercial professional foam roller, or whether it be your regular store-bought black foam roller, okay? It doesn't matter what kind of foam roller you're using. We just want to make sure that you're able to participate in this. So get whatever foam roller ready you want, okay? Whether it's one of the long ones. These are not Life Pro foam rollers, but I wanted to make sure if you don't have one, that you can go ahead and participate in the class as we're going through. I'm going to be using our newest Surger Pro foam roller that has the warming sleeve on it. I don't want the warming sleeve just yet because I have been suffering of a pain in my shoulder, my head and neck. I was actually visiting my chiropractor this week, and I had a massage yesterday. So you're going to see the cupping marks all over me because I was in pain, but it came in handy. This came in handy, as did my Rumble X. So I've been doing that over the last 2 days because I couldn't get out of bed yesterday. I actually had to cancel appointments in order to feel better. So when you are looking for recovery, whether it be awesome, whether it be for just doing too much, or whether it's because of weather, like here in Indiana, it's been raining on and off. Everything's blooming, so allergies are alive. Whatever your need for recovery is, we have to make sure that we're recharging our bodies, whether we've been doing too much workouts, whether we've been on our feet all day working, doesn't matter. We have to make sure that we are keeping our connective tissue, our fascia, happy and healthy and mobile. And so foam rolling is one of the best ways that you can do that without having a massage therapist or somebody working on you all the time, because not everybody can afford that all the time. So I'm going to go through and just get you guys started in a fingers to toes series on how we can alleviate different aches and pains with the recovery tools that Life Pro offers. And like I said, if you don't have some of these tools, they are available right now. The Surger Pro, the original Surger, any of our massage guns you can use in combination with. Some of you might wonder, do I need to get on my whole body vibration platform first, or do I need to do that after? Well, I will tell you, I just got off of my Rumble X and I didn't do anything except stand on it to get circulation going into my body. Because if you have more circulation into your extremities, your connective tissue and your muscles are going to respond much better than if you are getting on a foam roller without warming up a little bit. And so you can also use the foam roller to warm up, getting ready to go into exercise. So if you are like right now, track and field is into season, softball, baseball, lacrosse, a lot of these different sports are in full swing season right now. And so if you're needing relief or wanting to get warmed up, you can use it for a variety of different things, whether it's for warming up or for recovery. Then you can do a fingertips to toe assessment on your body and see where your body is stiff and where it's calm. and where it's needing a little bit more work with some other essential tools. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn my foam roller on. And because the one cool thing about the Life Pro foam rollers is they vibrate, which means if you have fibromyalgia, if you have MS, if you have a variety of different autoimmune issues that can cause pain, or maybe you are dealing with working out for the first time in a while and you've got the delayed onset of muscle soreness, which sometimes will make you feel like you've been in a car accident or you've been hit by a truck. The vibration helps to calm the connective tissue down, helps to calm the fascia down so that it's more receptive to opening up with the foam roller. So the Surger Pro has 5 different levels of intensity. And now that I've got everything working, I'm going to start on a low level. We're going to start with our feet. So if you have plantar fasciitis, this is your go-to exercise for plantar fasciitis. You're going to start with just your foot or with the foam roller near the ankle, okay? And I have my Bluetooth remote here, so I don't have to reach forward to touch it again. But what I want you to do, I want you to just do what I call gas pedals. And we're just pushing the foot up and down, all right? If you want to do this on both feet at the same time, and you can fit both on your foam roller at the same time, we're going to point and pull back and forth. So I like to say we're pushing on the gas pedal, okay? And then from here, we're going to slide forward just a tad on the foam roller, maybe like an inch. We only like to roll an inch per second at the fastest speed. Anything faster than that, we're not really giving our body the ability to adjust to or absorb the energy. Okay, so we're just pointing and flexing. Okay, now what I want you to do is open and close those toes while you're creating windshield wipers. And I know some of you don't have the ability to open and close and spread your toes, but worst case scenario, thinking about making windshield wipers out of your lower legs, okay? And in doing that, we're actually working through the cross section of a muscle. So instead of working up and down along the muscle, we're going right through it on a cross section, okay? And so from here, I'm going to go back to where I started, okay? If you need more pressure because you're not feeling anything here, or if you need more intensity on your vibrating foam roller, then just increase the speed by whatever notch you need. Now, in order to get more pressure, you can stack your legs. So right now, I've got one leg crossed over the other, and this is going to be too much intensity for me personally because I don't do well with a lot of extra pressure because I've got fibromyalgia. So I have to be a little bit more sensitive with my body because it doesn't like the extra pressure, but slide forward. And again, if you've got plantar fasciitis, this is where you need to be focusing your attention, not on the bottom of the foot. The bottom of the foot is where the plantar fascia attaches and where it originates here right through the middle of the arch. But what's really important to remember about the plantar fascia is it is meant to be kind of a springboard for the rest of our body to move forward one step at a time. And so if our plantar fascia is carrying more tension, it's not tight, it's carrying more tension because it actually starts here at the big toe and it actually attaches right here above your eyebrows in the form of the back fascial line, okay? So whatever falls within its line, if any of those muscles are carrying more tightness or tension, then the whole line goes into a greater level of tension. And so for that, if you work into more of the red fibers of your body that carry more blood flow and more muscle, which would be your soleus and your gastrocs and your perineals. So these here on the outside edge, these right here, back here, I like to say that this is like the baseball on the back of the leg for sprinters. For endurance athletes, most endurance athletes, the soleus falls right in front of the gastroc or underneath of the gastroc. That muscle, if that muscle gets tight, that's usually when runners feel pain on the bottom of the foot. So from here, we're just working. My vibrating foam roller is getting away from me. There we go. We're just rocking and rolling 1 inch per second, adding some windshield wipers in there, okay? And let's say we're wanting to get more here on the inside. If you have shin splints, which is pain right here along your shin bone, that's usually the tibialis posterior muscle here along the back side is excessively tight. So if you roll the foot to the inside and you roll with your foot pointed and rolled to the inside, but we're relaxed. We're not pushing hard, we're just relaxed. And we're rolling along the tibialis posterior. If that's a super sensitive spot for you, try and focus more energy on that. Now, if you can't roll because of pain, just stay right here and just absorb the vibration, because again, connective tissue and fascia loves vibration. And so when you can vibrate that tissue, it's essentially kind of a mild earthquake effect to the whole line. And so you're able to create more, you're able to take the tension off of that whole line, or at least redistribute it elsewhere so that you don't have it in the area of pain. So just rocking and rolling a little bit, okay? Nice and easy. And then again, you can do the windshield wipers in a cross section, like inside to outside wax on, wax off, right? Okay, now to get the outside of the leg, we're going to roll more to the outside of the hip. And so right now I'm resting on my rump and going just a little bit at a time, just an inch per second, okay? And I can slide forward a little bit more. So you might use your hands to get a lift off. If you don't have the ability to get a lift off, let me show you what's really cool. If you have another foam roller, or if you have something that you can rest on, another thing that you can do if you don't like to hold yourself up is you can sit on 2 foam rollers and use the foam roller to rock back and forth without having to lift your weight. So this is just another way of balancing out your body so that you're not having to hold yourself up. So if you have an extra foam roller, or if you have a pillow of some sort that you can elevate your body and you can rock and roll on so you're at the same height or level of your foam roller, that is makes it a little bit easier for those of you who can't hold yourself up. All right. So from here, now we're going to work all the way up to the knee, but we're not going to roll through the knee. We don't want to roll through the knee because there's a lot of blood flow that goes through the knee. There's a lot of tendons and it's a pressure point. So we're just going to stay right below the crease of the knee. Okay. Windshield wipers in and out. Okay. And again, if you can fit both of your legs up there at the same time, then you can work windshield wipers at the same time. You can stack, rock and roll one side. Okay. You can switch before you move on further down the roller. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this to make it more convenient for you as you are adjusting and feeling what part of your body needs the recovery. Okay. Because this is all about recovering from working long hours on your feet, from being more mobile and getting more workouts in. Maybe some of you are running, cycling. We can always use, any of us can use foam rolling, whether, you can use it for relaxation. All right, so that's how you're going to work that. Now, if you are wanting to use this from a standing position, you can actually rest your foot up there, and because of these diamonds, okay, you can work your foam roller on the bottom of your foot, okay, and from here you're going to point your foot and lift your foot. So point your toes, lift your toes, okay, roll inside to outside. All right, and then we're going to work into the heel. Now what you have to be careful of is you don't let the foam roller slip away from you and then you fall off of it. Okay, so if you do this from a seated position in a chair, that would be a lot safer for most of you. But I'm going to just demonstrate from a standing position because that's convenient for me to demonstrate to you right now. All right, now the bottom of my foot is actually starting to itch right now, so I'm absorbing some of those a lot of vibration in order to create, freeing up some of those toxins. So my feet are starting to itch. So that's usually a histamine response that we're freeing up extra funk in the foot, right? Meaning that there's particles, there's molecules, there's cells that are stored in that connective tissue that when we release it, if our body doesn't recognize it, it starts to create an itching sensation, which is our body's way of eliminating toxins, so referred to as detox. But anyhow, I'm going to go back through here real quick and double check some things. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Love it. All right. So happy to see all you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. All right. So we've worked on the calves. Okay. Now, what I want to make sure you understand, when it comes to the shin, I don't roll directly on the shin bone. but I will roll to the outside, which is our anterior tibialis. The anterior tibialis is the muscle that picks our foot up on the ground. I do that from laying down on my belly, but I'll show you that towards the later part of this episode when we are moving beyond the lower leg with our belly. So we're going to work on hamstrings next. Hamstrings are those big muscles on the back of your thigh, okay? And I will tell you, if you don't feel comfortable or you're not feeling any kind of release in the hamstrings, then we got to go right up into the hip and into our booty where our sciatic nerve is, where the piriformis, our hip rotators. Anytime, like for me, for instance, I'm really sensitive here in the quads on the front of the leg, but the hamstrings on the back of the leg, I typically don't feel any kind of a major release back there. I'm super flexible back there, so that's the difference. Hold up here. All right. So I'm gonna get my leg up on here and just rocking and rolling. Again, 1 inch per second. We have 3 different hamstring muscles, whereas in the quads, we have 4. So hamstrings, we have 3. So what I want you to focus on is toe towards your nose and foot is straight up and down. And again, we're rolling down to the knee, but not through the knee. All right. And again, if this bothers you, you can get yourself up onto another foam roller and you can rock and roll like a set of rollers with your booty. Okay. And so I'm going to roll all the way through until I get right up to where my butt cheek meets with the leg, with the thigh. Okay. And nice and easy here. Okay. Now I'm going to roll back down. And then from here, I'm going to roll my foot to the inside. All right. So I'm rotating my foot to the inside, which opens up the hamstring towards the inside of the leg. This area is generally really tight on men, more so than it is on women, because as ladies, we tend to carry more pain and more tension through the outer side of our hip, where most people refer to as the IT band. That's where that hamstring attaches right next to the IT band on the backside. And so a lot of ladies carry their tension out here because of how our hips are shaped outward for childbearing purposes. So we are rolling our foot to the inside. Now I actually am a little sensitive through here, which I don't normally feel this. So this is very cool. All right. We're going right on into our butt cheek or up to the butt cheek, not through it just yet. We're getting there. Okay, and then we're going to go right back to where we started from. Another thing that you can do if you don't want to hold yourself up, you can lay on your side and oh my goodness, there we are. We're right on that hamstring tendon. All right, and again, this is a very sensitive area. So we just rock and roll. If you're feeling a burning sensation, you're on the right spot. You're working out that fascial connective tissue. And there's a couple of different lines that we're working through here, not just our back line. We've got our spiral line. We've got several different lines that we can work through on this. Our deep front line runs right through there. Whoo, jollies. Yes, that is tight. Okay, now we're going to work the outside, all right? And most of you ladies that are watching, you're going to notice this one a lot. So here to the outside, we're going to roll our foot to the outside. We're going to rock and roll right to the outside. And yes, it is a hot zone. What I want you to make sure of, though, is that we're not actually foam rolling the IT band. That's not a good idea. It actually irritates that tissue more, which makes it worse because we create more tension. There have been a lot of studies that have shown that it takes over 1,000 pounds of force in order to create stretch or length on the IT band. And that's a lot. That's like the amount of a 1-ton truck. So you don't want to worry about gaining length in the IT band because it is a piece of connective tissue. It's not actually a muscle. We have to make sure that we are lengthening the tissues around the IT band that are oxygen blood rich. So that's going to be your quad, your hamstring, your TFL, which is up high, and your glutes. If you can release those tissues, then the tension on the IT band goes down and you relieve IT band pain. So there's how we do that. Continue to work through it. So as I get up here towards my butt, the IT band turns in what's called to the tensor fasciolata, the TFL. All right, so when I get to my booty, then I can actually, I'm not going to go directly on the IT band. I'm going to go on an angle, okay? And so I can work through here. Oh, yes. All the way up into, yep, all the way up into that TFL, which usually carries a lot of extra sensitivity. So if you've got back pain, if you've got hip pain, make sure you're hitting that TFL, which is the top part. It's what the IT band actually starts as. You can also bend the bottom leg and use the top leg to rock and roll. So a lot of different ways you can tap into that area of your hip, but boy, oh boy, I haven't been as active here the last few days because I haven't been feeling as good. So this was all perfect timing for this class. Okay, so once we do that one side, we can do it on the other. So we're gonna expedite this process without me telling you how to do everything. We're just gonna do it so that you can see how quickly all this can happen. So we're starting at the bottom of the ankle near the Achilles. We're gonna rock and roll, windshield wipers, rock and roll, windshield wipers. Keep it going, rock and roll, windshield wipers. You can pump the foot forward and backward, getting into some gas pedals here, rolling across all the way. Woo, there's a hot zone right there. Getting into those deep calf muscles. Okay, and then we're gonna roll right back out. We're gonna go into our outside of our leg, which is our perineals, okay? We're gonna rock and roll, or we can lay on our side, rock and roll. We can also cross over this leg, rock and roll, which is gonna be even more pressure. So a lot of different ways you can do that, however you're gonna feel it the most. Rock and roll. Nice and easy, 1 inch at a time, okay? Go into the tibialis posterior to the inside of the foot. Okay, rocking and rolling. Foot into out. There's a hot zone, especially if you got shin splints. Okay, rocking and rolling. All right, hopefully you're feeling some recovery here. Some windshield wipers, rocking and rolling. So you don't have to get into all these crazy hard positions. You just get in whatever position works for you. Put the foam roller wherever you can put it and work with it, okay? So now we're gonna go into those hammies. So on top of the foam roller, rock and rolling. Okay, you can pump the foot, rocking and rolling all the way through. There we go. All the way through to the butt cheek. We're gonna roll to the outside. So we're getting more of the outer hip. We can go hands over here, or we can change the position of our body all the way to the side and then use this foot to roll back and forth with, okay? So I'm getting the outer hamstring muscle, working back and forth, nice and easy, 1 inch per second, not forcing too much pressure, whatever I can tolerate, okay? And then we're gonna go to the inside, and on this one, we can just relax on our side, rock and roll, foot into out, rock and roll, back and forth, all the way up until we get to the top, and then we roll back out, all right? Okay, let me double check some comments here. All right, yes, your plantar fascia needs this, and yes, you have fibro pain. I have fibro pain as well, and it's very uncomfortable. So I'm so glad that we are all relating with each other, because when it comes to recovery, some of you might have more pain than what you want to feel with recovery. And so we use different strategies in order to relieve that pain. And sometimes it causes a little bit excessive pain than what we're used to feeling in order to relieve that pain. So when you have the vibrating foam roller, it decreases that pain in order to release, okay? So let's go ahead and work on our booty now. So we're gonna work on into the booty here. So if you've got sciatica, this is a really good exercise for the sciatica. Okay, so we're actually gonna have a seat on your foam roller, okay? Feet are out here in front of you. You can actually sit on top of the foam roller if you want to. And like I said, if it's easier for you to have another foam roller out in front of you that you can work from, So like such, okay? If it's easier for you to work like this versus really trying to hold yourself up, whatever works for you is fine, okay? But if whatever you need to make this convenient for you. So I'm gonna position all of my weight. So I went from here to rolling to the outside and just sliding my rump over so it's right in the middle, all right? So we're hanging out. I like to say we're hanging out at the pool. We're waving to our friends. Hey, how's everybody going? You know, and we're just gonna rock and roll right through this, nice and easy. Okay, and if you can't get into this position putting weight on this hand, you can have a chair behind you that you can hold on to. Whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable is fine. But I'm rocking and rolling right into the middle of my butt cheek, okay? And because I'm putting all the weight, whoops, it has an auto turn off. Yep, there we go. Hold up here. Vibration. There we go. Okay. So I'm just rocking and rolling through my butt cheek, okay? But because I'm sitting on an angle, I'm able to feel it more through what we call those external hip rotators. And yeah, those are usually on fire. Whew. Okay. So the other thing that we can do is we just open our leg. Open the leg to the outside, bring it back in. Open to the outside, bring it back in. So if I'm sitting, I can actually sit with both of my cheeks right on top of the roller. And we open up and bring together. Open up and bring together. So that's an easy way to stay put without having to put any extra effort into it. Just stay right here. We're going to roll forward just a little bit. We roll that leg to the outside. And this is just an easy little trick of how you can do this without having to hold yourself up into these different maneuvers and these different positions to roll back and forth into. Oh, there we go. Now, right here is about where everybody refers to as their tailbone. This is actually your what we call the sacral border, and the sacrum is part of your spine. And there's a lot of muscles and nerves that branch off of the sacrum that can create a lot of discomfort. And we also carry a lot of what's called trigger points, which is little knots of tissue that kind of are concentrated in our connective tissue as they come through. So this is the junction where the upper body kind of comes to the lower body. So we don't want to roll through the lumbar spine. We want to stay right below it. All right. If you have no pain with rolling through part of it, that's fine. We just don't want to roll through it if it's going to cause you more discomfort. All right, so we're just rolling through your sacrum. So right about right about where your butt crack starts to where your butt crack ends. That would be the easiest way to explain it as to where you're going to be rolling this, okay? And you can open and close, rolling through at the same time if you really want to massage that area. Okay, so both of my cheeks are on here. Now I'm going to shift more to the outside. Okay, so now I've got one leg here. I can go this leg straight out and get more into that TFL on my hip. Okay, or I can leave that alone and I can take the other foot out and use it as a guide. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Whatever's convenient for you, whatever's less effort for you, because what we want to make sure we're doing is that we are relaxing and that we are breathing through this. Okay, I'm not holding my breath. I'm like, it really hurts. Like I'm breathing through it and I'm relaxing and I'm enjoying the energy, even though it doesn't feel all that great. I'm actually feeling that release, which is quite euphoric. You're releasing a lot of those hormones. So we're tapping into recovery mode. So that being said, if you have any questions. Yes, yes. Okay, so Tammy Taylor, my sacrum is tilted slightly. Let me show you something. Everybody's sacrum is tilted because one of the things with the sacrum is it can rotate side to side, it can go this way, or it can do a combination of both. Hang tight for me. I've got my hip right here, truly my hip. All right, so this is our sacrum right here. So everybody thinks this is the tailbone, okay? This about right here is where your butthole is, okay? This truly is your tailbone, all right? So, but we have a lot of nerve roots that come off of here, the sciatic nerve being one of them, which is the largest nerve in the body, and it branches all the way down to the foot. So if we have pain in these areas, this is typically not a sciatica problem. It just means that these muscles are so tight that it's compressing on the nerves that branch off of these vertebral nerve roots. So this is our lumbar spine right here at the very top, like that. This is a good way of showing this. So lumbar 5, sacrum 1, sacrum 2, sacrum 3, sacrum 4, sacrum 5, and this is the infamous tailbone. Okay. Yes. So when people say that their sacrum is tilted, it has to tilt. That's okay. If you have SI joint pain, that is that little joint right there. And so usually what happens is a lot of musculature gets tight. And because of our lack of mobility or because of how little we move because we sit so much nowadays, our sacrum can be here, it can go here, it can be rotating this way. There's so many different ways that the sacrum can position itself. And then part of it actually floats up back and forth. So a lot of times, if I have somebody who comes in with SI joint pain, if I could just take this and push down, okay, and realign everything back this way, then a lot of that pressure provides relief. And that relief is what people are seeking out for. You get that same pressure relief if you can release these muscles out here, okay? And you do that with the foam rolling through the butt cheek. So hopefully that explains some of that. Okay, yes, okay, so that is how the sacrum, so if your sacrum is tilted, if it's rotated, it is on everybody, that's how it is, all right? Okay, now that we've got through one of our butt cheeks, let's get through the other. Now, there's another thing that you can do here that I'm going to demonstrate facing towards you. So if you sit on top of your foam roller, okay, the other thing that you can do in order to really tap into the sciatica area, not because we have a damaged sciatic nerve, but because we have muscles that are so tight that it's clenching and compressing on the sciatic nerve. So we can do a couple of different things. We can cross over this leg, just like you're like crossing over your leg, you know, in a chair. And from here, you can rock and roll through that, because when you rock and roll through that with your leg crossed, you're exposing different muscles that you wouldn't otherwise expose with your leg down here. Okay, so if we take that leg across, we roll through that. You can also roll to the side. So I'm just rotating. Woo, there's some hot zones for me. Yowzers. Uh-huh. Yep, you guys caught my attention there. All right. So, but I will tell you, if I'm down here, this doesn't hurt. This doesn't bother me. If I'm right here, wowzers, that's really noticeable. Now, as long as I don't feel a sharp shooting numbness tingling going down to my foot, we're good. But if you start to feel a sharp shooting numbness and tingling going down into your foot, you don't want to compress that area any more than you already are, because you can actually create inflammation from rolling over the muscles with the sciatic nerve. And we don't want to create more inflammation. We're trying to ease tension on those muscles. So the other thing that you can do is, so we're here, we take the leg and we bring our knee away from our body. So the first position is just crossing over the leg, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this without the foam roller, because I'm sure some of you are like trying to hold yourselves up there and you're getting frustrated. So we're here, okay? Cross the leg over, okay? We just rock and roll across there, okay? Now the only difference is if I bring this leg up. So just getting into this position right here without being on the foam roller, I'm stretching out all those muscles, okay? And that's where the sacrum comes right through here, all right? So from here, if I'm wanting to get more into the piriformis, all I'm gonna do is lay my leg across with an open knee, bend the leg, and now I'm trying to get my knee pushed further away from me, which opens this spot up a lot more. It's easier to do it when you're on the roller. So getting back up onto my roller, okay? We're gonna cross over, and instead of just crossing over here, we're gonna put our ankle closer to the knee, okay? And just let your leg relax open, okay? Now we're gonna roll through that, all right? So that opens up a whole new spot. Now, if that's too uncomfortable for you, then you can just hold here and you can just rock through side to side. That being said, if you can't hold yourself up on the foam roller, you can still do this without the foam roller. And again, what you can do, lay back, cross that leg up, the foam roller is coming right back to me. And then we just rock and roll this way. So if you're trying to recover from sciatica, that's how powerful that vibrating foam roller is. It's like a little robot moving on its own to intuition, but we just roll that body across. You can do the same thing on a foam roller. If you can't hold yourself up on the foam roller, then you can do it directly on the floor, but you can use that as an intervention until you can get yourself back on the foam roller. So that's the quick version of how to get to sciatica. Now, we're still on the lower body. We're going to go to our tummy right now, and we're going to start right below the ankle to the outside. All right, so I'm on my belly. Now, this is usually a very sensitive area. So for me, I'm just going to roll over to my side. I'm just rolling to my side, and I'm just using my other leg to rock and roll. And again, we're kind of getting back to the perineals, but we're actually getting more into the front near my shin bone, but we don't want to be right on top of the shin bone. We're just getting to what is referred to as the intertibialis muscle, which is this area right here on the front, okay? Super sensitive area, but if you have shin splints, that's where you want to focus your attention, okay? So that's the only part of the lower leg through here that I really focus on, and then we're going to go right on into the knee so I can get us through this. And my foam roller has an auto shut-off time. So I have to restart it. There we go. Now I will tell you, this is probably my most sensitive area of foam rolling is on the front of my legs. So I'm going to probably grimace on some of these, even though it's a good thing. So I'm going to lay on my belly, and from here, I'm just going to bend my knee back and forth. All right, so that's front view. Let's go to the side view here. So laying on my tummy, okay, getting my leg elevated so that the foam roller is right above my knee, but not on the kneecap. And I just bend my leg. Whoo! Yes, that is sore. I actually enjoy doing foam rolling on the front because it's just chilling out. Like I'm just laying here and just bending my leg back and forth. If you have knee pain, if you've got patellotendinitis, if you've got knee pain from the IT band here to the outside, this is an awesome exercise because if your quads are tight, then you end up with putting more pressure on the knee joint and hip flexor. So this is the end, this is where the hip flexor comes down onto the knee, okay? And then from right here, let's go side to side. Okay, so we're working internal rotation and external rotation of our hip, which is really important. And I'm just relaxing as I let my body do this. All right, now we're gonna move up. Oh, jollies. Yep, we're gonna work even more. So we're bending that leg. And because I am holding myself up a little bit here, I'm actually stretching what's referred to as my psoas muscle. So it's one of our main hip flexors, but it's the #1 cause of low back pain. Okay, and from here, inside to outside. And if you feel the foam roller, like it feels like it's going across railroad tracks, those are the different muscle bellies. We've got 4 in the front of our thigh, hence quad. Woo, yes. All right, we're gonna keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Okay, touch the tippy toes and then bend too. So we're reaching to get the tippy toes back and forth. Windshield wipers into out. Yep. Oh, jollies. That's quite noticeable. And then when I get to the crease of my hip, we're just rocking and rolling right at the base there, but we don't want to roll through the pelvis joint on the front because there's a lot of tendons, there's a lot of blood flow. So I stay right in the meat of the muscle, okay? Right at the meat. Now, that was right up the middle. Now we got to get the inside and the outside. This is where it gets really hypersensitive. So from here, I'm just going to lay here to the inside, rocking and rolling, bending my leg side to side, rocking and rolling. Oh, yes. And in fascia, this is our deep middle line, our deep front line, my bad. So it starts at your adductors and it actually ends in your tongue. So it's a very hot spot. Most people, this one runs right through the diaphragm. So if you've had trouble with breathing, if your chest has felt tight, your ribs are tight, this is a really easy exercise to loosen up that whole line. Okay, we're working through that. Slowly rock and roll back through. Back and forth. All right, so we did that one. Now we got to get the outside. Okay, and on this one, I'm putting my other leg up just a tad, just to rebalance myself. Bending. Oh, jollies. And again, now we're getting into the really close part to where the IT band is. Rock and roll through it. Yep, it's a real stinger. You'll probably find all sorts of lumps. Feels like large bubble wrap on my legs. Crossed. Rock and roll. And you just work through what you can there. All right, now we did that on one leg. We got to balance it out and do it through the other. So hopefully you're feeling some sense of recovery there. Let me double check some things here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Definitely above the knee. Very, very sore. Yes. Okay, here we go. Oh, my foam roller has completely disappeared. I'm telling you, these things pack a punch, a lot of power. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go back to our tummy because, like I said, I like to not work as hard. I like to work smarter, not harder. So right above the knee, not on the kneecap, but right above it. Okay. Right here. Bend and flex. Yep. Okay. And from here, I'm already feeling a huge stretch right up here in my hip flexor, above in my belly, the psoas. I'm starting to feel that inside to outside. Okay. Roll two. Just a little bit closer to. Now bending the knee and straighten the knee. And you can relax the other leg completely. Whatever you want to do to stay comfortable in this one, okay? You can even stay here and point and flex the foot. Okay, and just doing that changes how much that muscle works up near the thigh. Okay, working two, a little bit more. Bend. You can put your arms up here into kind of a lowered plank. Across. Yep. Quite sensitive for those who have autoimmune issues. Good. Side to side. All right. Back down to where we started from. From here, going to the inside. Now, if you want to be lazy, like I can be sometimes, then bring your knee closer to you and just put your foam roller in on your thigh, and you can actually use your leg to roll back and forth, and you're going to feel that throughout your inner thigh, starting at your knee all the way into your groin. Actually feels really good from this position. Okay, and then, but if I go straight leg, it feels totally different from a straight leg position. So if I'm straight leg here out in front of me, that feels totally different because the muscle is on a stretch. So if the muscle's on a stretch, you're going to get in and feel it in a different sense than if you're just kind of relaxed and just rocking and rolling, or just laying here and you can just lay here and actually just absorb the energy. Okay. And in order to create more pressure, you can push into the foam roller, relax, push into the foam roller, relax, and you'll feel that zing, that energy go all the way up here into our hip flexor where it attaches on the front of our hip. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that we can do here without having to put a lot of weight onto it. All right. Oh, yes, right there in my inner thigh, super sensitive. Okay, now we're going to go outer thigh. I don't think I've hit outer thigh yet. Okay, outer thigh. I'm going to roll to the opposite side. And remember, just an inch per second. We're not grimacing through pain, so if we need to offload some of that energy, we can. Yep, that's killer. We can even bend in order to get more into it. Woo, yes, that is a very, very hot spot. And everybody's different. So where you feel it on one part may be super sensitive to others, whereas other individuals might not feel it at all. Okay. All right, we are tapping into more recovery here. Oh boy, go ahead and grab a drink of water, because remember, as we are going recovery movements, we want to make sure that we are rehydrating. Okay, recovery, rehydrate. All right, now from here, making sure nobody is needing anything right here. Okay, got my awesome little ring on. All right, now I'm going to go right on into the neck and shoulders and the arms. Okay, so again, if there's an area of your body, if you can interact with me real quick and let me know if there's something I missed in the lower part of the body. Yes, just make sure. Okay, SI joint area, yes, awesome. Just make sure and let me know if there's an area that you need more attention to, or you did not feel any kind of relief from the areas that we were just working through. Make sure and let me know that when you hear me mention recovery, so I can go back through the comments. And again, just a reminder, if you have not seen the Agility Plus ball, the small vibrating ball for trigger points, it's not out yet, but two of you are going to win this ball today. So there's the ball, okay? If you are interested in this ball, text agility to 833-775-0130. I'm going to hold that up, so take a snapshot of your screen. If you want to know when this is released, you want to know immediately when it's launched, it'll be on sale for $39.99, normally like 50 bucks. Text agility to that number, and we will signal you as soon as it launches. It will not be launching this week. They're not in yet. I was a lucky one to get the test model. So, but if you're interested, it does a lot of what the vibrating foam roller does, but you can get more into some of the deeper points on the shoulders and the back. Okay, now going back into shoulders and neck, there's a couple of things I want to show you. If you happen to have a big foam roller like this, okay, I'm going to show you a little tip and trick that you can use for just relaxing, recovery, meditation, breathing, that doesn't require you to hold yourself up. I like to use this. This was one of the first exercises that I used to do when I was learning to walk again from spinal injury. Except I had this Century foam roller. So this is my super bendy neuro foam roller. But again, it's one of the first things I started to do to actually calm things down. So I saw a post earlier today that somebody said, how do I relieve stress? How do I manage my stress levels? It's all about deep breathing, meditation, relaxation, and foam rolling is a huge component of that. So I want to show you that trick, because if you can master that trick and you can learn how to do it on this, and you can add vibration to this, that it gets really, really good. But either way, I'm going to show you how to use whatever you got. So one thing I want you to try, if you happen to have a long foam roller, is you're going to straddle it, right? It's going to fall right through your butt crack and along your spine. And right here, we're just going to lay long ways on it, okay? You can put your arms to the side, and all we're going to do is just rock like a cradle, because we all used to rock with our cradles, or our mother used to cradle and rock us as babies. Our body already knows that in its software system in our brain. We just have gotten so far away from comfort and all the crazy things in our life that we don't remember being cradled and rocked by somebody close to us. So just rocking back and forth like that calms down the nervous system, and it allows your brain to recharge and to relax. Lowers the stress hormones. So we're not trying to roll any knots out here. We're just trying to downgrade our reactive state of nervous system and trying to upregulate our recovery system, which is referred to as the parasympathetic nervous system. So lowering hormones, this was one of the first things I had to do to calm down spinal pain, 8 spinal injuries, in order to learn how to walk normal again. Okay, and then from here, you grab your arms across and you continue to rock back and forth as you feel comfortable, only as you feel comfortable. Now, what's really cool is once you get comfortable with this, then we can take our hands up to the ceiling and we can open our hearts and really let our chest open up, okay? So right here, one of our biggest problems in our society right now is we are always rounded shoulders. So we always have something in front of us. We're always looking down. We don't look up very often. And so by opening up our chest and our shoulders, we are opening up this line here. These are our arm lines, and where our pec minor attaches into our shoulder girdle, it tends to change the amount of pressure on our neck and our upper back. If the pressure in our neck is really high because we look down all the time, it automatically will cause low back pain and hip discomfort. So rocking and rolling side to side. And then as you feel comfortable with this, then you can slide just a little bit, almost like you're getting ready to fall off. But instead of falling off, you pause. And right now you're into the butt cheek a little bit. So now, in order to keep from falling off, we're going to roll to the inside. So I can wave to everybody, but I'm still on the foam roller, and I'm just focusing my attention more into my hip and my butt versus right in the middle. But I haven't fallen off. I'm just rocking and rolling, cradling myself, and kind of rolling away. Okay, rolling through my booty and then right back to. All right, so that's just a little trick. The other thing that you can do with a long foam roller is you can go cross. Okay, and I'm showing you this for those who have a long foam roller, because if you don't know these tricks, you're missing out, because they're like feel amazing. All right, so you can start right here around the rib cage. Okay, and from here you lift your butt up and you just let everything, you just roll through from here, nice and slow, until you get to the shoulders. And then when you get to the shoulders, you can actually take those hands up to the ceiling and we can roll through the shoulder blades, both at the exact same time. I'm going to show you how to do this with the vibrating foam roller here in just a second. We take our arms out to the side, big open arms for a big hug and an open heart, rolling through the shoulder blades. We can roll all the way down into the rib cage. The only challenge here is you got to hold yourself up. Okay, and then from here, if we take our arms up like we're holding a pistol, okay, or we're pointing to the sky, let's point to the sky. Now from here, let your butt relax. Let's roll across to our side, roll across to our other side. So now we're actually rolling cross section here. Okay, and the other thing that we can do is from here, we can open up. So we can stay on our side and we can open up and across. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that with a long foam roller, but I'm going to now show you how to do that with the shorty. Okay, all right, so turning these on. Now I'm going to get rid of my mat because I actually enjoy rolling on the carpet a little bit better. Okay, so this is the hard part, is trying to balance on this, okay, with not having too much pressure. So we're going to find where this is going to align right in the middle of our shoulder blades. And the hard part, what you might have to do is put a pillow, or better yet, you can grab another foam roller. So a pillow or another foam roller, so you have somewhere for your head to rest. Okay, yes. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, getting nice and centered. Okay, and from here, just rocking side to side. Just rocking side to side, nice and calm, nice and relaxed. So if you have knots in your back, and if you can hold your booty up off the ground, okay, then you can go back and forth. Now, let me show you something. If you happen to have a pillow, this is where this can get all tricky. If you happen to have a pillow and you can stabilize yourself partially on the pillow, and then the rest of your body is on the foam roller, like such. Yep, there we go. Okay, now I'm not having to hold my butt up as much. Now I can take my arms up and I can open and close. Okay, and from here I can roll across, nice and easy. Just ultimate control here, not trying to roll through too much, but just keeping control. And then from here, what you can do is you can reach across. So now we're working more of our deep spinal stabilizers. Okay, and then from here, if we take this a cross way, so we're going back into a cross section, and from using the other foam roller as a headrest, okay, so we're not having to strain ourselves holding our neck up. The other thing that you can use the other foam roller for is you can actually roll back and forth without having to hold your neck up. So it's like a headrest and it's like a roller system. Oh, it feels so good. My goodness, I really needed this today. Like I said, I got, so we're using our core to hold our body up here. We're working our hamstrings by lifting our butt up. So we're getting a lot of things happening here all at the same time. And we're just rolling through nice and easy. Whoo, goodness. Okay, now we're going to take those arms up into the ceiling. Okay, we're going to open and close. Okay, we're going to roll back and forth. We're going to open and close. We're going to roll back and forth. A little bit more. We're going to open and close. All right, so we're just really working through the whole thoracic spine and into our shoulders so that we can get into the nitty-gritty of our mid back and our spine. Now, to get into some of the deltoid, all right, to get into some of the deltoid, all I got to do is lay my shoulder and just rocking and rolling nice and easy. So right here, I'm getting some deltoid. I'm getting some rotator cuff here. I'm going to show you how to get into some of the other arm muscles, but we're getting nice deltoid here. Okay, so we're rolling forward to backward. Oh, that's really sensitive, right? Okay, so from here, now we're going to go arm up over the top, and I'm going to warn you, this is a hot one. This one hurts. Okay, just laying on my side. All I'm going to do is roll into, lift away, roll to, lift away, rolling to, lift away. Yes, it's a very sensitive spot. Very, very sensitive. Okay, we're going to roll the foam roller further away from our body. Wave to me. That was a trick. Yes. Now you are getting your triceps by just waving to me as you rest yourself, right? Okay. So we can wave this way, wave this way. Yep. Give me some high fives. Didn't know you were getting into that one, did you? Okay. But we got to have fun, right? Okay. So now I'm going to go palm up to the ceiling, rotate palm down. Okay. Rotate palm up while I'm rocking and rolling, rotate palm down. So now we're getting into some mean muscles that are really sensitive, tender. Most of my clients, when they feel me working on these muscles, these are screamers. Okay, you don't even have to rock and roll. You can just rotate palm up, palm down. All right. So if you're dealing with carpal tunnel, you're dealing with tennis elbow, this is one of those great exercises. Woo! Palm up, holding the teacup. Spirit fingers waving, spirit fingers holding the teacup, waving. Yeah, that's killer. All right. Working further deep down towards our armpit. So we're going back into the armpit. We're going to roll upward into the foam roller. So it's more into where our lat comes through, our lat and our trap. Okay. And from here, we're going to reach and we're going to open across. So now I'm going cross section through, and at the same time, because I'm using this leg for balance, now we're actually getting our hip flexor stretching out on the front with our quads. So we're getting a lot going on here. Okay, we're getting our transverse plane here, so our spiral line, our lateral line, there's a lot going on here. Give me some waves. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling some really good recovery going on here. All right, awesome. Now, what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So let me see if there's any comments here about what we got going on. Oh yes, the arm roller is killer. Okay, suggestions for rolling when getting up and down from the floor is a challenge. Yes, you can use it on your bed if it's most convenient for you. Let me show you something. Okay, so this is my ottoman here in my living room, all right? Let me show you something. Okay, if you need this on your arm, look here. We're waving, right? You can wave, you can rock and roll up high. So if you need to take this, if you can't get down on the floor, just take it up to your furniture, rock and roll. Okay, if you need to use it on your booty. Okay, having a seat. Okay, rocking and rolling, leaning back, rocking and rolling. So if you can't get down on the floor, that's okay. You can use it on your bed, you can use it on a chair. Okay, and I'm going to center myself here. Watch this. Crossing over. Ooh, guys, we are in the booty right here, right? So many different ways you can do this. There's no rules to how you get positioned. Okay, rolling into the side, giving everybody a little wave out, so I'm adding more pressure. Okay, yeah, so there's so many different ways you can do this. If you don't want to sit on the floor to do the calf, you know, you can put your foam roller up on your couch, rocking foot inside to outside, rocking and rolling, bring the foam roller to you. Okay, so this is really good for plantar fasciitis right here. Right here, really good for plantar fasciitis, bringing it to you, rocking and rolling inside to outside. Okay, pumping the foot back and forth. So many different options that you can do with that in order to get the relief that you're needing. So let's go ahead and do the opposite arm. Again, continue to ask me questions if you have questions about how to get into certain positions, because I want to make sure that you can use your device however you're wanting to use it for the purpose of recovery, for stress relief, and to feel less pain. All right. So here we're going to go down to our side. So we got this on the armpit. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just rock and roll back and forth using my lower body. Okay. If you've got a plumptuous booty, then you can rock and roll much easier than without a plumptuous booty. So I never have trouble rolling because I just use my butt as a pivot point. All right, now from here, we got our arm stretched out. Bring the arm to your head and take it away. I know, killer, right? Oh, who would have thought? So bringing up, check and do a little hair check, taking it back down. Really does not feel very good because we're really tapping into things. Now from here, we're going to roll into the chest, roll out and lift away. Oh, there's a really hot point. Okay. So yes, we've got lots of nasty trigger points, lots of nasty hot zones in our armpits, in our triceps, in our lats, so many different things that we can feel through there. Okay. So there's that. Okay. We're going to bring our hand up, give it a little wave, wave. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to roll into, okay, palm up, palm down. So now we're getting into more on the deeper side into the armpit, but also up high into the deltoid on the back side. We're going to roll here. So we're going to get more into the back side of the deltoid, rocking and rolling through that. Okay. And then again, we can, yeah, this is a hot zone. Oh, jollies. And just when my vibration stopped, because it has an auto feature. Okay. So again, if you can't roll through this, because like right now on me, it's like I like to call these little mouse bites. It's like you pinch somebody, that's what it feels like. Feels like somebody's peeling your skin off. But I promise they're not peeling your skin off. You're actually releasing that connective tissue, which is really important. So from right here, give me a curl. Okay. So giving yourself a bicep curl. Okay. Giving me a wave. Yes, it's killer. So you can just lay here and just let the vibration take care of you there. Okay. You can do palm down, palm up. So many different combinations you can do here. Okay. Now we can also go so that our vibration is right here on the shoulder. Okay. So we're just rocking and rolling through the tricep and through the deltoid. Okay. You're going to find where your hot zones are. Okay. Nice. Okay. Whew, shake that out. That side was more sensitive on me than my other side was. All right. So right here, we're going to go a little bit deeper into our rib cage. So we're going to go lower on the armpit, and we're just going to open and close. Opening and closing. And again, we're getting that big stretch right here on the front of our hip. Okay, opening and closing. Nice job. Okay, waving. There's that stinger. Waving. High fives. Yep, there's a stinger. All right. So, and we can roll all the way across to our backside. So if we're wanting to get these muscles right here, where some of you refer to as your bat wings, or the extra roll around where we like to not feel it around our bra, okay? then we can roll across through here, and we're getting even deeper into that lat and into the trap. Okay. All right. Now, we have not done here right here into the pec minor. So what we can do, pec minor, okay, pec minor can get a little bit more tricky, but all I want you to think about doing is just opening up that arm to the outside and rolling across. So we're going onto our belly. I'm going to tell you, most of you guys are going to be really tender right here, okay, because that's where our pec minor is. And our pec minor is just an itty bitty little section of muscles that attaches, it brings our shoulder forward. But most of us are like this, or like this, or like this, right? So we're always rounded, all right? So we're always really tight right here. So if you are trying to, especially if you're having neck and shoulder pain, we want to go into right here where that pec minor is, okay? And again, it's a tender point, but that's where it attaches. So the pec minor is a very small set of muscles that lie underneath the pec major, which comes all the way across here, all the way down, all the way across underneath, and then back up. So it's a ginormous muscle in our upper body. But the pec minor is the screamer underneath because of where it attaches here, underneath the pec major. And when that muscle gets tight, it actually pulls the shoulder forward, which places more pressure back here. So if you have a neck pain, or if you have shoulder pain, or your back is bothering you, majority of the people that I work with, once I open them back up and we work on the pec minor, that pain goes away instantly. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Oh, my foam roller has disappeared. Okay, come on back here. All right, so here's how this goes. All right, we're going to lay with the foam roller in our arm, okay? And all I want you to do is you're just gonna roll forward and back into it. Okay, palm up, palm down, okay? And if you need to roll more so you're completely flat into the floor, you can actually position it right on that spot. So for those of you who are interested in the Agility Plus ball, let me show you this. Make sure that you text Agility to 833-775-0130, because when this little guy comes out, this is perfect for the pec minor release. All right, so the way that this works, you take the ball, stick it right there, and lay on it. Yep, that's the hot zone right there. So we just lay there, and it will vibrate that tissue until it relaxes. Okay, you can also take the arm down to the side. So for those of you who are doing more scapular mobility, okay, you can actually position the ball right here on the pec minor, and you can work. Whoo, that is sensitive. Wowzers. You can work your scapular Ys and scapular circles, okay, as you are working on releasing that pec minor. So it's a great tool that you can use in a PT setting. It's a great tool you can use at home. But I will tell you, if your pec minor is tight, this through here is going to be ultra sensitive. All right, so just be careful from an emotional standpoint, because anytime that we're really tight, we tend to feel more emotional release at the same time, because you know, we carry more emotion and pain through our connective tissue, and this one is always really tight. That's why most people are like this. So let me go back through here and check. Okay. Oh, good to know that for YouTube, that the quality is better here. Okay, so yes, Tammy, you can definitely use a massage gun in that area. So if you are wanting to use a massage gun through here versus using the foam roller, you can definitely do that. You'll just find that pinpoint and work up and down and cross, and working from different angles with how the arm moves. So we can go angle here, we can angle down, we can do all different kinds of angles. But the pec minor is going to be through this whole region right through here. So we want to make sure that we're not only releasing this, but we're releasing the deltoid, we're releasing our muscles back here, and that we're opening up, especially through here with our diaphragm and our rib cage. All right. So last but not least, oh my goodness, did you guys see where my foam roller has completely disappeared? I'm telling you, that little guy has a mind of its own. Kind of funny. All right. Now, last but not least, let's talk about how to open up the diaphragm. So This might be one of those exercises that you want to do with or without the vibration on. I'm just going to leave mine where it's at for now. And I'm going to get this right about mid spine, okay? And because I don't want to strain my neck, I'm going to go ahead and pull this other foam roller over to give me extra support. So like I said, this is kind of the hard part to get into this position. Okay. So it should be right between your shoulder blades, and then your head should be nice and relaxed from here. All right, so from here, we're going to reach up to the ceiling and pull back. Reach up and pull back. See, and for me, just finding that perfect spot. And since I had an injury here just in the last 48 hours, I'm a really sore. So we're reaching up and we're opening two. Reaching up, opening two, okay? And then in opening here, we're making sure that we are breathing through our tummy, not breathing through our chest. So when we breathe, deep breath in. So when we breathe in, I want your belly to get as big as your belly can get. And when we blow out, our belly gets really small, okay? Now, if you have to do this off of the floor, that's fine. My favorite foam roller to use for this is one of the longer foam rollers. So if you have one of those, that's awesome. And if you don't, Life Pro does not sell them, but I can, if you want to DM me a message, and I will send you to a rehabilitation site to where you can find one. You can also get them on Amazon. They're about $50 because it's a professional quality sensory roller. But for opening up our diaphragm, opening up our chest, we're going to push up into the ceiling, getting our shoulder blades up off the foam roller, open up like a big rainbow, and just breathe, okay? We can also work on closing the gap. So right now, I have my hand underneath my low back. I want to crush my hand by bringing my pelvis closer to me, which almost requires me to lift my butt up off the foam roller, but I'm not lifting my butt up, okay? So I'm right here. We're just pushing. I want you to imagine that our belly and our hip is a bucket of water. We're going to pour water out of our butt crack, okay? And then we're going to fill our bucket up more here in the front. And then we're going to pour it back, and then we're going to tilt it back forward. So you can either leak water out of your butt crack, or you can leak it out of your belly button. But in doing this, this also helps with low back pain, and it's also activating our core. So this was another one of those exercises that I did for about 6 months to try and calm down my body so I could learn to walk again. And it took me 6 months to be able to do this. It was kind of crazy. Okay, so just rocking the pelvis back and forth. And in doing that, you can see where it opens up my rib cage and my chest line. And if I do that at the same time that I'm breathing, then we are relaxing and de-stressing our body at the same time. We can take our palms and turn them down to the ground so that we're changing the spiral line down through our arms to our fingertips. And then those of you who are diehard about abs, I know you're all watching, right? From there, what you can do is you are going to close that gap in your low back. So we're tilting the bucket back. And if you want to try and pick up a foot, all the power to you. It's really hard to do, but I know some of you are diehard go-getters and want to try this. And if you fall off, it happens. I fell off a lot when I was first starting, but now that my core is really centered, this is a great exercise. So I had to do this after having my baby delivered via C-section. I had to do this after having a total hysterectomy. I had to do this after learning, after this accident with these different spinal injuries. And so it takes a little bit of time to get to know a lot of these exercises again. But it's all about recovery, and it's all about calming down your nervous system and about ramping up your body healing at a faster pace. So that being said, we've got pretty much everything is covered. If you have questions, go ahead and post them below. I'll give you about another 5 minutes, and then I got to bug out of here. But you'll be able to watch this video here in the next 24 hours. They'll re-upload it to all the social channels, so you'll have access to it. So just remember, you don't have to watch the whole video. You don't have to do the whole process. If there's parts of it that you love, that you learned something from, you can go back through and fast forward, rewind back to, and split off however you want to in order to watch some of this stuff. But the idea is not to create more pain, but to calm down the pain. And we calm down the pain by releasing the connective tissue and the fascial system. And we've got 12 different fascial lines that come together to hold our body together. And our body creates more tension across those different channels based on how we deal with stress and how we deal with posture from hour to hour, day to day. So with a combination of the whole body vibration platform, the Rumble X is my favorite. Many people have asked which Rumble X is my absolute favorite, and it just depends on the day, depends on the situation. For absolute favorite for fat loss, for weight loss, I like the 4D, but I don't like to do like upper body training with that. I don't like to do all the workouts on the 4D because it's curved, but I shake the junk in the trunk up a lot more by just standing on that one or sitting on that one than if I use the others. If you are somebody who deals with knee or foot, ankle, or hip issues, you want the Plus or the Pro. The Pro is more gentle, in my opinion, with the preset programs than the Plus. If you want something that has screen control and has a noise off feature, the Plus has a lot of extra features that the others don't, but it doesn't have all the attachment points. So the others have bungee cords and or at least the Pro does. And then if you're dealing with a weight capacity or you're trying to find one with the beefier motors so that you can put more weight and more intensity with it. So if you're adding dumbbells to your workout, and if you are already weighing in over 275 pounds, you're going to want to go to the Rumble X Max because it has a weight capacity of over 500 pounds. And so those motors are going to keep up with you for a longer period of time. You can get on the whole body vibration platform before you foam roll in order to generate more circulation through the body so that you can detox, cleanse, and get those muscles warmed up. You can do the foam rolling in order to figure out where your body is very sensitive to more tension, and you can then get on the platform in order to work more of that tension out, more focused, or use one of our mini massage guns in order to isolate how you're going to let go of those tension points using different techniques on the massage gun. And I've taught several massage gun classes with Life Pro. You can go on and watch those, especially for plantar fasciitis. If you have plantar fasciitis, I've got a couple of videos that are with Life Pro that's part 1 and part 2, and then workouts for plantar fasciitis. And if you have plantar fasciitis, you don't have to live with that. I treat and cure plantar fasciitis all the time. It's like every week I'm getting new cases of plantar fasciitis in. And those are individuals who have been suffering for a long time, some of them for years. And then when I show them the secrets and the tricks to working out the plantar fasciitis source of the problem elsewhere, it's never in the bottom of the foot. Although many of you have probably been injected into the bottom of the foot, the problem is not the bottom of the foot, it's usually in the calf. So if you are needing help there, you can go back and watch some of the Life Pro videos that I've already done in the past few years there. So that being said, let's see what we got here. Okay, so question here, do you recommend a high density foam roller? Let me show you what the difference is. High density, that's more like this one. This one is going to be really hard. So if you are super sensitive, you don't want a higher density, harder foam roller because it's going to be not as comforting on your points. My absolute favorite foam roller for the general population is it's made by OPTP, and it's a rehab company. And this one doesn't have all the little nodules on it, but it gives a little bit, but it's not like so rigid that you can't tolerate it. If you have fibromyalgia, MS, you are super sensitive to certain things, you want the neurosensory foam roller, okay? And this one comes in red and in blue. But again, this is a super special foam roller, so you can only get this one from a couple of different companies that are out there. But you can find it on Amazon. You want a soft density foam roller or a sensory foam roller. That's what this one is referred to. Now, what's really cool with the Surger Pro, okay, is it has this neoprene cuff, and it also has a heating element in it. So if you don't want the heat and you don't want the cord, you don't want to roll over the cord, you can actually pull the heating element out and just use the foam roller with the neoprene sleeve, so it makes it more cushioned. However, because there is a lithium ion battery in here, it's not going to bend. These are more bendy, okay? But again, they're super special foam rollers for the ultra sensitive population, and it is a commercial rehab foam roller, so you're not going to find it at your general department stores or big box stores because it's a specialty foam roller. So you can look for that. You should be able to find one on Amazon or at optp.com, and they're usually like around 50 bucks. But absolute, if you need a foam roller, you don't have one, the Surger Pro is my favorite because a vibrating foam roller is always going to provide you with more relief than a foam roller that doesn't vibrate. And the reason being is because our connective tissue or fascia loves vibration and it responds to vibration. So if you can vibrate your different troubled areas and roll at the same time, then you're getting two types of recovery in the same process. If you're wanting to use it for relaxation or for nighttime bedtime routine after you get off your Rumblex and you're just trying to meditate, deep breathe, that's what the longer ones are really nice for. If you have plantar fasciitis, this one is good. Another thing that you can do, the sun is getting ready to set here in Indiana. That's why my channel all of a sudden got bright. You can just lay here and just kind of like we've done before, as I've demonstrated using your platform. If you don't have a platform at home, then you can just elevate your calves up here, okay? And then just let your legs relax. So you can do that on the floor. You can do that on your couch. You can do this on your bed. Just if you have restless leg syndrome, this is an easy thing to eliminate restless leg syndrome. And I'm not really trying hard here. I'm just letting it vibrate just right underneath of my calves. I'm just relaxing, just chilling out, okay? But I'm telling you, the calves are a huge source of problem because when we sit all day, and a lot of you sit all day, the calf muscle crosses over the knee joint here into the hamstring area. The hamstring crosses over the knee joint and attaches here at the bottom. So we have a lot of interchange going on here. And so when we sit like this all day, our muscles get used to being short. So in order to get them to loosen up, we've got to get them, it's like a rolling pin. We got to get the mush out, okay? All right, now, my ladies backstage, if you can go ahead and share with us who our winners are. Okay. Yeah, we're ready to announce winners. So there's two of you who are going to win the Agility Plus massaging ball. And again, that sun's coming in bright, so it's getting ready to set. It's a beautiful night. So we've got our ladies who are backstage and listing. Okay. And I'm seeing many of you. Okay, as we're waiting to see who our lucky winners are, I want you to tell me, I want you to post below in the comment section as they're determining who our winner is, what was your favorite part of the foam rolling? What was the part that you gained the most from the whole experience? Whether it was foam rolling your calves or your quads or your butt or your shoulders, give me an idea of what you enjoyed most about the foam rolling. And that way, if I need to go in and do little segments like 5-minute tutorial videos on how to foam roll like your calves or how to foam roll for plantar fasciitis or how to foam roll for sciatica or for shoulder pain or whatever, give me an idea of what your favorites were from tonight because we've been doing this now for an hour and a half and nobody has an hour and a half on a daily basis to do foam rolling. So some of you just might need some short bursts of videos as to how to use your foam roller, you know, to ease pain in a specific area. I'm sure some of you didn't realize how sensitive this whole area was. Yes, plantars has nothing to do with the feet. It's all in the calves. That is exactly right. And sciatica, the source of sciatica usually comes from your external hip rotators and your butt cheeks being way too tight. So for people, when I work on individuals who have plantar fasciitis, most of those individuals, when I go to touch their calves, they just jump off my treatment table and they think their biggest problem is in the bottom of their feet. I actually don't work on their feet because they're all so sensitive. So when I go to work on their calves and they never realize how tight their calves really are, it's like an eye-opening moment. So Yes, opening up the diaphragm, Pat, is one of my absolute favorites because when you can do deep breathing and when you open up the diaphragm, you automatically lower stress hormones and release that sympathetic nervous system. You're able to downregulate that sympathetic nervous system so that your stress levels will drop. So it's an awesome thing. Yes, calves, glutes, upper back, and arms from is it Andre or Andre? I think it's Andre. Yeah, so thank you all so much for sharing. Let me continue to flood in here with your favorite tips and tricks, and I will continue to work on creating videos like we did the 21-day challenge for the platforms. So if I need to do like a 21-day challenge for foam rolling or something along those lines here in the future, our team and I will work on whatever it is that you need because we're here to serve all of you. And in the meantime, let's see what we got here, my people. Oh, we have winners. Yay. Okay. All right. So I've got two winners. Both of you are in Facebook, and I know both of these ladies because they are they're so interactive in so many of our different things. So Judy White, you are the winner of one of the Agility Plus balls, and Tammy Taylor, you are the other winner of our Agility Plus ball. When it launches, we will make sure that you get one of those products. Make sure and either shoot me a direct message so that we have your address so I can forward that on to our team, or you can post it sending a DM to LifePro. Let them know that you were here and that you were the lucky winner of the Agility Plus ball. Again, it's about this big around. And for those of you who, yes, it's so excited for you, Judy and Tammy. So happy that you are on our channel today. Thank you all so much. Yeah, so let us know what we can do to provide you more recovery, provide you the support that you are looking for, because all of us at Life Pro are here to serve you, and whatever we can do to take away your aches and pains without having to go in for further services. We do strongly support the whole sports medicine team as far as physical therapists, doctors, chiropractors, massage therapists, naturopaths, everybody in between. We support all of our medical community, but not everybody can afford those services all the time. So whatever we can do to provide you those services when you are at home so that you can do them more often, for those of you who are going in for possible physical therapy or different visits, the more that you're able to do at home on your own time, the more resourceful and results you're going to experience when you go see the professionals in person. So yeah, so we're super grateful for spending my evening with you. Thank you all so much for watching. And just remember, when you got aches and pains, life is getting you down, you've got this. We are here to help, and together we can do anything. So have yourself a wonderful evening. And thank you again for your time and your energy and for sharing this recovery evening together. Bye.